Hey Algebra 2, it's Mr. Szybisty, and today when we do B4, we're going to talk about special cases. In B2, when we talked about factoring by grouping, we had 4 terms, and we did group with the plus in the middle. In B3, we did trinomials. Those had 3 terms, and we did blank times blank equals blank plus blank equals. Now, we're going to talk about ones where there are just 2 terms. There are 2 special cases, and this is the first one, and it involves squares. And when I mean squares, or when I say squares, I mean things that are squares or square roots, like this is an x squared and 16 is 4 squared. Here's the pattern. Whenever we see something squared minus something squared, it can factor to a plus b, a minus b. No more work necessary. Let's take a look at example 1 and how that applies. With the first part, x squared, if I do x squared, I get x squared. And the second part with the 16, that's 4 squared. So now I'm going to apply this pattern. I'm going to say that the x is the a part, so it's going to go here and here. 4 is the b part, it'll go here and here. So the factored form is x plus 4, x minus 4. We follow this pattern and we get the 2 numbers based on the square roots of those, because x squared is x squared, 4 squared is 16. Let's look at the next example. Here we've got 25x squared minus 64. Well, 25x squared is 5x squared and 64 is 8 squared. So the way we factor this is 5x plus 8, 5x minus 8. And we're done. So now it's time for a U-try. Today's first U-try is 36x squared minus 49. So we're going to factor this. Go right ahead, pause the video, see if you get my answer. The answer you should have gotten was 6x plus 7, 6x minus 7. If you got it, congratulations. If not, make sure you write some questions and go back and look at previous examples to see if you can tell where you went wrong. Now we got one more example to look at. In this example, I'm a little confused because I know 200 is not a perfect square and 162 is not either. What we have lurking is a GCF, because there's a number that I can factor out of 200 and 162. And the biggest number that goes into both of them is 2. What would be left over is 100x squared minus 81y squared. And that's a good thing because 100 is a perfect square and so is 81. So I know that I'll be able to use my a plus b, a minus b factoring technique. So I go through and I apply it. 10x plus 9y, 10x minus 9y. And remember, I'm choosing these numbers because 10x squared is 100x squared, and 9y squared is 81y squared. A plus b, a minus b. And remember from the last time, anytime we have a GCF and we pull it to the outside like this, it always gets written in front of our final answer to make this completely factored. And there's our answer. Now it's time for one more U-try. In this U-try, what we're going to do is we're going to factor this, 5x squared minus 180y squared. And notice that there's no square root of 5, no square root of 180. So I think there's a GCF here. Go through, find that GCF, pull it out, and then do the factoring. We'll see if you got the right answer. When we pull out the 5, we are left with x squared minus 36y squared, which means our completely factored form would be x plus 6y, x minus 6y, with a 5 out front. I want to talk to you about one really important thing, and then that's it for this video. This factoring technique only works if there is a minus sign in the middle. If there's that minus sign, you're allowed to factor it x plus 2, x minus 2, a plus b, a minus b. Be very, very cautious. If that's not a minus sign, then you cannot do it. It turns out that this polynomial right here cannot be factored. If we say that a polynomial cannot be factored, we can say it's prime. If there's no factor, it's a prime polynomial. There's no way to factor it. All right, Algebra 2, make sure you come to class with your questions. We'll talk about them and we'll do some more practice. Great work, everybody.